Thank you for purchasing our Pond King standard floating turtle trap. In this video, we're going to show you how to assemble the trap and get it ready for catching those sunbathing turtles. There are a couple of tools that'll help make assembly easier, so make sure you grab these before you get started. A cordless drill or impact, pliers, Phillips head screwdriver, crescent wrench, and an optional nut driver. Inside the box you'll find a box with all the hardware, 4 square tube bushings, 12 large flat washers, 16 stainless steel J-clips, 4 galvanized 3/8 inch bolts, 6 stainless steel screws, and 4 lock nuts. The first step is to form the cage with the mesh panels. Carefully fold back each of the 4 sides. Since it was folded flat for shipping, you may have to repeat the motion on the same panel to get it to stand up straight. Next, you'll connect the panels. You will use 4 stainless clips per corner of the cage. Connect the first square at the top of the mesh with 1 J-clip, crimping it with pliers. Count down to the 5th square and attach another J-clip. You're leaving room here for the aluminum frame by skipping a few squares. The remaining 2 J-clips should be attached on the 7th and 9th squares. Repeat this process on the other 3 corners until the cage panels are fully secured. Next, take the aluminum frame and place it on top of the cage with the flat side up, adjusting the mesh panels as you press down on each of the sides and corners until the frame is firmly level on top of the cage. Next, you'll add the support U-bracket. Position it in the center of the cage so it's supporting the bottom and sides of the cage. Line up the holes on the U-bracket and frame, sliding the bracket in between the cage and the frame. Secure the bracket on each side using 2 of the stainless screws and nuts, tightening with a screwdriver and pliers or nut driver. Now it's time to attach the floats. Take one of the bolts, slide a flat washer on, then the float, then another flat washer, and then the square tube bushing. Line it up to the aluminum frame, putting the bolt into the hole on the aluminum angle. Holding it securely to the cage, take another flat washer and place it on the end of the bolt inside the cage, followed by the nut. You'll need to slide the washer in between the 2 uprights of mesh in the corners in order to get the washer to lay flat and secure the cage. Hand tighten the hardware until you get both sides of the float attached. Repeat this same process on the other side of the cage. Using a wrench and impact, finish tightening each of the bolts and nuts. The flaps and frame are marked with colored dots. Match up the colors to be sure to attach the correct flap to the correct hinge. Attach the flap to the hinge using the 2 stainless steel screws with lock nuts to secure the flaps to the hinges. Hand tighten the nuts onto the screws until you get both in place. We find the easiest way to tighten the hardware on the flaps is to tip the trap on its side and place it on the edge of the table or workbench. Then use a screwdriver and wrench to fully tighten them. Repeat the process for the second flap. Carefully flip the trap so it's right side up and you're finished. The trap is now ready to use.